Hey gang, Spada here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Soundwave. Now, I have been itching to get my hands on this guy. It looks really good in the box. Stealth drone. Love the picture of the robot, or of the character up here in the corner. I love that. It just looks so cool, flowing with dark energon there. Back of the box, or back of the packaging, is same as all the others. We've got his bio up there. Then we've got the picture of the figure, technical specs on the side, other deluxes on the back. So, enough talking, let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. And here we have Soundwave in vehicle mode. Now, you might notice he is a drone, specifically one used by the U.S. military, and he looks very, very cool. I just think this mode is perfect for Soundwave. Now, if you've seen the show, he's only in this mode maybe once or twice in the entire series, but that's okay, because he rocks. Now, he does come with a little Laserbeak-esque figure that is attached to the back, so let me go ahead and remove that so you can see the drone mode without the Laserbeak attachment. And Laserbeak is a very cool little guy in and of himself. I don't really quite get him, though. It looks like it should be a gun as well, but whatever. Anyway, it's a great addition, and it works with the robot mode as well, which we'll get into right now. Alright, here we have Soundwave and Laserbeak. So, first thing we're going to do for the transformation is just come underneath and fold up the landing gear. Next, take the wing and lift up a little bit, and that will unpeg the wings. Now, they're kind of on hooks that peg right into the side there. So once we do that, just point them straight back, and you kind of end up with a Super Soundwave Jet Mode. So, first thing we're going to do is turn the figure around like that, because this is all robot mode stuff. We're going to take the entire front of the fuselage and split it apart like that. Then take the front of the drone mode and fold the front up, and then fold the front up more, and just keep folding until it rests comfortably towards the back. So we'll do that again. Fold it up and keep folding it up. Now, my figure, according to the directions, it's supposed to snugly fit up against the rear of the leg, or the top of the drone, right there. Mine doesn't really matter because you don't even see it in robot mode. Then take the bottom of the front of the drone and fold it up to form a heel. And then these little bits underneath will fold forward to form the feet. Nice pointy feet. And then what you'll do is, this is a double hinge. The knees are a little weird. They're kind of on these weird double hinges. So we'll talk about that in a bit, because it really doesn't matter that they're there. Okay, for the next part, remember the wings, how we folded them back? Well, what we're going to do is fold them all the way up into the rear of the plane mode, and they won't snap into place. Then reach underneath of the wing and fold out what is the hands, like that. And then just kind of work it around. There's a swivel here on the shoulder, and then there's a ball joint here. And just kind of work it so that you've got a working arm. So it might require you to actually move the shoulder out back down to here before you do that, but it doesn't really matter. Next, the tail fin of the drone, lift that up, and that will just Soundwave. The first time I did this, there we go. So there is an actual mechanism there. So when you pull it all the way down, it will actually pop the head out automatically. And then we'll fold the thruster down into the cavity, and there we go. Now the last bit is where Laserbeak comes into play. There's a peg here. It's shaped like it's shaped like the peg here. So that firmly pegs into place. And then you take the wings, and for Laserbeak, and point them forward, and then you could just fold them up into these nice openings right there in the shoulders. There's actually a lot of posability in this figure. His head is on a very, very limited ball joint, because he can pretty much go up and down, but his head can turn, which is nice. Shoulders are actually a swivel joint and then a hinge joint right above that. And then at where the mid upper arm would be is a ball joint that you can get a lot of movement on. And then right underneath the ball joint is another swivel joint that moves side to side, and then a swivel joint that moves up and down. So you've got a lot of posability there. Then part of the transformation has a hinge joint at the forearm. Unfortunately, the hands are so spindly, they can't really hold anything. So say you wanted to hold, I don't know, the axe from a cliff jumper. It can fit in the hole, but you look ridiculous. Or say you want to hold Laserbeak. Say you want to perch Laserbeak on Soundwave's arm. You can do that. But again, he looks kind of ridiculous. You can get it so that Laserbeak is posed like that, but still, it looks silly. And unfortunately, Soundwave without Laserbeak, I don't like it the way he looks without Laserbeak attached. I really like the way Laserbeak attaches to him and just gives him an extra bit of bulk. But hey, I'd rather have Laserbeak than not have him. Okay, back to the posability. There is some posability in the hips, though my figure is really tight. The torso moves, not the hip. The hip is on a ball joint within a swivel joint underneath, and then it has this really limited hinge joint right underneath, but I don't know what, and I mean limited, like there's like a millimeter or two worth of movement there. The knees are double hinged, as you can see, and I don't know the reason for the double hinging, but oh well. Then feet are on hinge joints as well. The only thing I would watch out for, the bottom part that forms the heel, it's a really, really slippery joint. I haven't figured out how to really tighten that up yet, but it's really slick, and the weight of the figure causes him to fall back on his heels quite a bit, but with some careful posing, you can mitigate that completely. Deluxe Class Soundwave is a very cool figure. It's just a very nice, solid figure. It's not the wow factor that I was expecting, unfortunately. And I think that just has to do with the fact that the Predator drone form that he has really limits the figure to being super, super awesome. Now, don't get me wrong, I really do like this figure. My only complaint, actually, I have two minor complaints. One, the kibble hanging off the rear of the legs. I can look past that. My other complaint is he really can't hold anything. And I have to look past that, because you really don't have a choice. With a Predator drone mold, or that alt mode, you really don't have a choice. You are really limited to what you can do. So considering that limitation in what you could do with a mold or a vehicle mode like that, this is a really good figure. It has a ton of posability. It looks great in robot mode and in vehicle mode. I can't stress that enough. It looks really, really good. But it does have a few small issues, which makes me wonder, are they going to release a Voyager class of this version? That would be interesting, because they've succeeded. Don't get me wrong. They have succeeded here. This is a really, really cool figure. But I just feel that there's something missing, and I just can't put my finger on it quite yet. But hey, you know what? I'm happy with what we have here. I just have a few nagging little issues with it, but otherwise, this is a solid buy.